So what the is the right answer? No, it's my turn to steal. What the are you doing?
So like most of us on quarantine, I've been passing the time with group chats. And during one particularly heated conversation, I claimed I knew more than any of my friends in that group chat and pretty much any other friend or person I've ever met in Seinfeld. They politely disagreed. So to settle once and for all who really was the Seinfeld champ, we set up a showdown. The rules were we were gonna do it like the Stern Show. Howard Stern does trivia all the time, and basically you ask a question, if that person gets it wrong, the other person has to steal, then the next person goes, they answer, they have the opportunity to steal. We determine the winner by whoever has the most correct answers. In the event of a tie, there are some bonus questions to determine who's the true winner.
Because I'm a winner.
So as you can probably guess from my reaction earlier, things didn't go quite as I planned. So I invite you to watch the Seinfeld Showdown to see how it all went down, and comment down below with any timestamps whenever you feel like chiming in about a right answer, a wrong answer, someone being a sore sport, someone getting robbed.
Right, lady.
Help! Someone help!
Shut up, you old pig.
And if you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit like, and let the show begin.
The Life Tailored Seinfeld Showdown. Let's meet the contestants. Andrew Wise has been watching Seinfeld since 1998. His favorite episode is The Bookstore, and his favorite character is Uncle Leo. Andrew is playing against Seinfeld fan 93. Gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble.
All right, the first question is, what is George Costanza's alter ego? Who is George Costanza's alter ego?
All right, I'll go with Art Vandelay. Final answer.
That is correct. Good show. Good. What real life individual is George Costanza's character based on?
Larry David.
Final answer.
Yeah.
All right. In the episode The Opposite, when Elaine is informed by the theater manager that her then boyfriend Jake Jermel has been sideswiped in an accident, what does she buy?
Juji
from the
fruit.
concession
Final
stand
answer.
before going to see him.
Juji fruit. Final answer.
That is correct. Good job, Andrew Wise. All right. So next question, Ian. In the episode Raincoats, Jerry is caught necking with his girlfriend during what critically acclaimed film?
Schindler's List. Final answer.
You were necking during Schindler's List?
Good job. All right. What two characters are taken in by the police for urinating in the parking garage in the episode The Parking Garage?
Jerry and George. Final answer.
Nice. Andrew Wise with 3. In the episode The Red Dot, why was George fired by Mr. Litton?
Slept with the cleaning lady on his desk. Final answer.
Say that again, Ian. A little louder.
He slept with the cleaning lady on his desk.
In the episode of Jimmy, why does Wilhelm think George stole the equipment and thus report him to Steinbrenner?
Because George is eating the Kung Pao chicken and he's sweating. And George starts speaking in third person.
That's correct. He looks very guilty and sweating from the Kung Pao chicken.
The shower
All right.
wouldn't take. Shower wouldn't take, Jerry.
In the famed episode The Contest, who are the first two people out of the contest?
Kramer and Elaine.
Final answer?
Yeah.
That is correct. In the Soup Nazi episode, I'd like you to name two of the soups that the gang, liberal with the gang, want to or do in fact order from the Soup Nazi. Just name two of them.
Jambalaya, turkey chili. Do I stop there or do I keep going?
Yeah, give me your official answers. If you want to keep going, you can.
I'll do those two. I'm not confident in the third.
All right, that's correct. You got it. Don't doubt yourself next time. When is Festivus over? What concludes Festivus?
When somebody pins Frank.
That is correct. Andrew Wise. As a teenager, George was tormented by his gym teacher, Mr. Heyman, or Hyman, who intentionally mispronounced his last name. What did he call George?
Can't stand you. Final answer.
All right.
Mr. Heyman.
Ian. Elaine's boyfriend, Brett, was very serious and very into what song?
Desperado.
Final answer.
Yes.
You care to sing it for us?
No, I wanted to say Witchy Woman, but I knew that was what. Like,
That was Elaine's song, yeah. She was trying to make that work.
Throughout the history of Seinfeld, there's been a big emphasis on different episodes on jackets or coats. So tell me 2 jackets or coats that were focal points or important elements of an episode. And, you don't have to have the brand name or anything. Just describe 2 jackets or coats that were focal points of episodes. And there's many.
That's a good question. So I'll just do Candy Stripe, the suede jacket that gets Ryan with Elaine's dad, and then Putty's jacket that Jerry wears. Does that work?
Putty's jacket?
The big fur coat. He looks like a dandy. Does that work? Do you want me
Those were 2 final answers?
I don't really know the context of the question, but those are 2 jackets that are involved in the show. So final answer.
All right.
You can ask me to elaborate or give you other jackets.
I know it's a little bit of an ambiguous question.
Yeah, I think that's definitely.
Yeah, you got it right.
It's more of a bad question.
Ian, Kramer had an idea of making a cologne that smelled like the beach. Calvin Klein stole this idea and launched it under what name?
The Ocean. Final answer.
Going back to an episode we mentioned before, in the Jimmy, what song does Mel Torme sing to what he perceives as a mentally challenged Kramer?
This
What
is a
song
quite
does
difficult question, first of all.
Torme sing?
Wind Beneath My Wings. I don't know. Final answer. I'm not sure.
That is incorrect.
Decent guess.
All right, Ian, to steal. Do you have the
I
answer?
have no fucking idea. It's a good question.
What are the names of Elaine's bizarro friends?
Kevin. Oh, do I have to name all of them?
Yes.
Kevin Feldman and I'm going to guess Scott.
Final answer. That is incorrect. I'm not going to give any more details, but that is not.
All right, you want to give 3? Kevin Feldman and Gene. Final answer.
There is a 4th.
Kevin Feldman, Fargus, Gene. Final answer.
Good job. You almost fucked it up.
Man.
Yeah.
Andrew Wise, in the finale, name 2 of the law enforcement. I'll be liberal with law enforcement. Name 2 of the law enforcement related individuals who testify during the trial. And you can, do your best to give exact names, describe it. We'll be semi-liberal. 2. There's much more than 2. You only have to name 2.
How many cops were on the show? I'll do that black cop that caught Kramer as a scofflaw for the white whale with the parking tickets, and then I'll go with the cop who caught Jerry and George peeing. I have no idea. Final answer.
That is incorrect. I'm not going to give more details. Ian, can you name 2 law enforcement related individuals who testified during the trial?
Bookman, the library cop, and then the cop in the finale who arrests them.
Cop in the finale. I mean, are you going to give him that?
Final answers?
Yeah.
No, you couldn't hear because it was low, but we're going to accept that. It's a little cheap but astute. That was Officer Matt Vogel, the cop from the incident. Ian, can you please name 3 exes of any member from the finale? Name 3 exes of any member who testified. So Jerry's ex, Elaine's ex, George, Kramer, who testify at the finale. 3.
Thinking about all the people that hate them and not.
If only you guys had recently watched the final episode of the show for which you're doing trivia.
You seem to be pulling questions from specific episodes that you watched, I guess.
No. Not really.
You got the Jimmy.
episodes,
There's like 3 Jimmy questions.
All right, well, I'm going to pass then because I couldn't think of 3. I'm not even going to guess.
Can you name, for the finale, please name 3 exes of any of the members of the gangs, Jerry, Elaine, George, and Kramer, who testify at the trial?
That's a good question, Andrew. Don't let them.
Because I thought it was only Jerry's exes. That's why I was trying to rack my brain.
Yeah,
I'll do Sue Ellen Mishke. I don't know if she dated Jerry, but Jackie Giles, Terry Hatcher as the second one. Do I need her name?
for that one, if that one is correct, I can accept it.
And then I'll do Putty. Final answer.
That is not correct. All right, in the episode The Opposite, where George decides to finally switch things up and do the opposite of his normal, pathetic existence, At the diner, he decides to not order his regular tuna on toast. He wants the complete opposite. He then orders what he perceives to be the complete opposite, and Jerry says, that's not the opposite of tuna. This is. You can give me either George's complete opposite or Jerry's complete opposite and get this question correct.
Good question.
Complete opposite of tuna on toast.
Good question. So I guess I can't speak out loud.
And I will allow a little leeway, just one thing. I'll allow a little leeway for George's because it's a little complex.
So I have to answer exactly what Jerry's is or exactly what George's is?
Exactly Jerry's. I'll give a little leeway on George's. You probably know it or you don't. I don't think you're going to get this. See what I mean?
The opposite of tuna is salmon. Tuna swims downstream, salmon swim upstream. So I'm going with final answer.
That's correct. According to Jerry, what does every mall have in it?
No context for this one, huh?
Stuff. I'll accept two answers. I'll accept the proper and the more general.
What does every mall have in it?
Let's
So
give
it
it
wasn't
more,
like
yeah.
a plot to one of the shows. It's just part of the stand-up in an episode.
Yes. It's a little, it's tough.
Either of you get it. It's way too hard.
Downton? I don't know. Final answer.
A knife store.
No, it's my turn to steal. What the are you doing?
In the episode Soulmate, when Newman is whispering to Kramer what to say to Pam, as he speaks to her in the bookstore, what topic does Newman get all worked up about and thus completely thrown off his game, thus whispering the wrong things to Kramer? What topic does Newman get really worked up about?
Junk mail, final answer.
That is correct. When Elaine first meets up with Jay Peterman in Burma, what phrase does he yell at the little boy and what language was it?
I think it's like Yalla Yalla in Burmese, I would assume. I don't know. That's a hard question. I mean, that's
Is that your final answer?
Read like were there subtitles in that episode? It's like Malala Malala or Yalla. I don't know. How is this a question?
Sorry, I'd give it.
Is that your, what was it?
Final answer. That's what I got. I don't know.
Say it one more time.
Yalla, Lala, something like that. Is like some Lalas in it somewhere.
In Burmese?
Yeah, I would guess Burmese if the country's Burma.
Okay. That is
Formerly
incorrect.
Myanmar.
So I'll go with, I don't think the actual phrase is that important. It's like, blah, blah, blah. It's, the phrase doesn't matter, but the language is gibberish, final answer. I mean, knowing the exact phrase is fucking insane. I mean, how do you spell that?
Well, that's wrong.
All right, then that's wrong, yeah. Gibberish.
Okay.
And Elaine
So-
asked what language that is, and she said, do you speak Burmese? He says, no, that's gibberish.
It's not
I
like
think
it
we
was.
move on. You both got it wrong. So,
Daddy's gonna go
Kenny,
places.
in the episode The Shoes, what is the brand of shoes that Elaine is wearing that Gail makes a big deal about?
I know that.
Yeah, that's just a good question. I'll go with vermicelli, final answer.
Could you say that again? It got a little tough.
Vermicelli, final answer.
That is not correct. Ian, would you like to try to attempt to steal?
Botticelli?
Could you say that again?
Botticelli?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
That is correct. Ding, ding, ding. Botticelli. Who was the chef in George's off-Broadway play, La Cocina? Who was the chef?
Oh, man. That is a good question.
Or what was the name of the chef?
I can picture him explaining the story.
I'm putting 20 seconds on the clock.
I'm not going to guess because I'm not 100% sure.
All right. Andrew Wise, would you like to try to attempt to steal?
Pepe, final answer.
That is correct. Andrew
I
Wise.
happened to watch that episode today. That was one of the episodes I watched.
In the episode The Gymnast, when George inadvertently spills coffee on a random person's windshield and eventually gets seen by his girlfriend Lindsay's mother, who then thinks he is a homeless man, what is he holding in the other hand when he tosses the coffee?
Newspaper, final answer.
That is incorrect. Ian, Do you need the question repeated?
No. My guess was going to be newspaper.
Yeah.
Flowers, final answer?
That is correct. You pulled that out of
Damn.
No,
in
don't
the
tell us.
same episode, The Gymnast, when we first learn of George's habit of taking off his shirt when he goes to the bathroom, where is he when we first learn of this?
When we first learn of it, he's at Jerry's apartment. When he first explains that this is his habit, or like the first time you see him shirtless?
The first time we learn of this habit of his to take his shirt off when he is in the bathroom.
Jerry's apartment. Final answer.
That is correct. Yeah, George and Elaine, when they stop having sex with their respective partners, their intelligence levels take different turns. What does Jerry compare each of their brains to?
So I'm assuming the way you phrased the answer is confusing to me, but I'm just going to go with.
I don't mean to make it more complicated than it needs to be. Jerry says something about how both of their, like, what.
And it's the same thing, right? It's not a woman's brain's
No,
like this. It's
not
the same thing.
What, sorry?
Like it's the same analogy, right? It's not saying
the
a
same
woman's
thing.
brain
I
is
don't wanna
like
get
a shark
No.
and a man's like a fish or something. So I'm going to go with woman's brain is, it's like taking out the trash. A woman puts out trash and a man comes and picks it up. She can have sex whenever she wants. A man's brain is the opposite. When there's no trash to be picked up, he can focus on other things. I don't know what you're looking for exactly.
Yeah, that I can't accept that as a correct answer. Ian, would you like me to restate the question?
Yes, I would actually.
All right. When George and Elaine stop having sex with their respective partners, their intelligence levels take different turns. What does Jerry compare each of their brains to?
All right, since Wise went already, I'm going to try to talk this one out. So I remember him saying, like, I just can't picture what he says exactly. I totally picture the scene. I think they're sitting in the booth at Monk's. Elaine is just an idiot.
You want to try talking it through one scene? Or?
Let me guess real quick. It's like her brain is clogged, or no, I don't know. I can't even phrase how I want to answer this.
So we all know that Jerry scratches off the 2 and turns it into a 1 on his size 32 jeans, so he can still wear the same size that he did in college, a 31. But what are both Jerry's hat and suit jacket size?
No, I'm not going to answer.
Yeah.
I'm not going to answer.
All right, so Ian is passing.
Okay, so his hat size and his suit jacket size?
Yep, either you know it or you don't. We're putting 20 seconds on.
I'll do 40 medium final answer.
Okay, you got 40 correct. What's interesting is that most people would know a fitted hat has a size. You probably could have guessed this. It is 7 5/8. All right, first question, Andrew. What movie is the jean pick recommended by Kramer?
Silent deduction.
One.
English.
All right.
I'll pass. I can't get it. Figure out what the hell the question is and try to answer it.
Um,
I'd like to know how my answer isn't correct as well.
You'll say.
Nothing, right? Yeah.
Ian, you have a guess?
Ian,
I don't have a guess.
So what the is the right answer?
Weekend at Bernie's 2?
Weekend at Bernie's 2.
Are you serious? Like, he's
That is a
dead,
different
you
movie.
idiots!
That is
Like,
in fact
he's
a different
dead, you
movie
idiots.
than
how is that not correct? Like, are you
That's
Different movies.
That's wrong.
so you're accepting Ian's
Why,
answer
is it
about the cops
Godfather
and the rest of them?
I wish I could mute you. This is the most ridiculous argument. It's a
Weekend at
different
Bernie's
movie.
1 and 2, by
It's
the
a
way,
different movie.
are the worst movies ever. The only difference is it's in
Whoa,
the
whoa,
Hamptons
whoa, whoa.
or the Caribbean. It's the same movie.
I think Wise is mad because he knows probably Ian might get this and then it's over, which is unfortunate because I think this one might be.
I think I got the answer right. Is I think the,
No, wait.
like
Why?
like
It's a
I mean,
different movie.
Aliens and Alien are different
Yeah,
movies.
it's gotta
Jaws
be.
1 and Jaws 2 are different movies.
Weekend
got a
at
very-
Bernie's is not right. How is that?
Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, my friend.
The
There you
host
go,
has way
nailed
too
it.
much influence on this. That's the problem.
Now,
All right.
He made it about himself.
the nuance between Weekend at Bernie's 1 and 2 is why I lose.
It's a
They're
it's a
two
different
different
movie.
movies. I mean,
It's
I
a
mean,
different
again, you never
I
even
don't-
should have had the second chance. You basically stole Ian's deduction in a sense.
Agree.
All right. Anyway. All right. Last
Answer
question.
asked poorly.
If I was Ian, why sounded so confident in Weekend at Bernie's? I might have just shot a number 2 out.
I know. Ian's
well,
probably
so that's
kicking
what I
him.
thought it was, but then
Because it should have been the right answer. That's why I'm fucking stupid.
you guys threw me under the clock so quickly. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe it's not that.
Well, we had discussed for like.
It is.
I shouted out an answer. I thought the clock was fair.
It's true. There's been a lot of inconsistent
No, I mean,
correct answers today. So
Can you imagine if we had a buzzer system? Holy shit.
no, buzzer system never would have worked. I'd be
Would have worked beautifully. Just going on record. All right. Anyway, next question.
He asked that question and I shot that down immediately.
It wasn't a buzzer. It was a DM. All right. Last question. Drew, do you want to read it since I got heat for your? Did I change this question? I don't think I changed.
Let Drew read it because you did not read that.
Now let me.
I read.
Hold on. Let me.
I didn't change.
Hold on. Let me pull it up again.
I'm gonna look up the edit history. I
Next
don't think I
time.
changed your question. I really don't.
All right.
I really don't.
Well, I mean, 2 different movies.
Well, yeah, that's
Okay, so we're talking about the Stein, the
line
one for
37.
Elaine. Okay. All right. So when Elaine yada yada's sex, she claims she did not omit the best part of the story. What was it?
Bisque. Final answer.
Lobster bisque, yeah. Fucking.
So what was the hard question that has multiple answers?
I mean, we could still do it.
I mean, we could still do it. And you guys bet, points.
Or we could just be happy that Ian won.
No, I won. I just want to know what the question was.
All right, well, the
do you guys
question
want?
is,
Do you guys want to try it?
Yeah. Who knows how they're going to judge the answers?
So there's 3 answers. Why don't you DM me as many of them as you have? The question is, name the items in Darren's intern journal for Cramerica.
well, what you guys can do is just,
I love
I mean,
it.
if you have paper or something, just write it down, and then when you're ready, just show the camera and
Yeah, whatever's clever.
write how many points, I don't know, you would have wagered, how confident you are. We can see what would have happened.
Text time.
No, show it up to the camera. Do it like Final Jeopardy style.
Yeah, you don't have to actually send the text in. Just write it on your phone and then show the camera.
Yeah.
Fine. How much time on the clock?
30 seconds.
You're
I
Stein?
thought this was really hard. Yeah, whatever you guys want.
Are incorrect answers counted, or you can just write down whatever?
No, it's a free-for-all.
I'd say if you get 3, you're right. If you miss anyone, you're wrong.
I have the other tiebreaker too, which is like an unlimited.
So I'm a little confused. It's not a tie. Are we tied?
No, Ian
Ian should be up by 1.
Yeah, Ian technically won by our rules.
Okay.
I just wanted to answer the question because question.
I have a few other ones too. Although Wise watched this episode, so I have a feeling he'll get them. Yeah, Wise, you had this in the bag if you didn't mention Merv Griffin. I would have asked 2 questions from that. You could have got them both.
You could have still asked those questions.
Just for everyone's sake, Wise mentioned in our group chat like 30 minutes before that I should do the Merv Griffin thing, and he mentioned how he just watched the episode. So I struck those questions. They were extra questions to begin with, but I made them like an hour ago. I struck them.
So it's literally just anything that's in his journal.
Well, because there's a specific reference where Darren's manager or boss or
it's his
teacher or whatever,
intern director at NYU
is like reading that. She's reading it. She's like, Darren, I've been reading his journal, and here are the things that I've read. And she mentions 3 things.
All right, we got to go 30 seconds from here, guys. $20 seconds.
Dave, do you have Venmo?
Yeah.
Can you?
Joe, is that in fact your first gamble?
No. I mean, I'm not a degenerate gamble, but I mean, I wouldn't have bet tonight if I knew that you were gonna like fuck up all
Change
the.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's my fault.
I mean, I would have.
One. There's 3?
Okay, guys, what do you got?
I have no idea.
Owns a chicken is all I could think of.
Just tell us. Yeah, I can't read that.
I
You're
said
virtual.
chicken wire. There's no chickens. It seems like your entire operation is no chickens.
Yeah, may or may not own a chicken. Yeah.
Bladderless
With
oil
Darren's help, we'll
tanker.
get that chick.
Yeah.
That's
What
all
were the other ones?
What were
May
the
or may not own
other?
Yeah, so she says, she says, looks like doing laundry, mending chicken wire, and a high tea with Mr. Newman.
Oh, high tea with Mr.
High tea, Mr. Newman. I have chicken wire, no chickens, and then bladderless oil tanker.
Yeah, from what I can tell, this is just living in a man's apartment who may or may not own a chicken. And with Darren's help, we'll get that chicken.
A solitary man. Yeah.
A solitary man, that's right.
Yeah.
And the other tiebreaker was I basically name as many of Jerry or Elaine's boyfriends and girlfriends as possible. The
I
idea
like
was
that one better, yeah.
there was no
I'm
real
hungry.
like limit, so it's whoever, it was like a just last resort.
Okay, I'm out. I guess technically Ian won, but it was a very imprecise game. When it's 12-11, it's really tough.
I think it's a rematch.
Real tough to call winners and
Yeah.
losers.
You guys were great. I mean, that was
Yeah.
tough. You guys did good.
I appreciate the effort, Spencer.
Guys, you in next Friday? We'll do it again.
Yeah. Honestly, we need some better questions because we seem to have pretty good knowledge.
I'll volunteer to host and ask the question.
Moderate, yeah. Like, we need some black and white answers.
I'm very pointed.
One quick thing I will mention is the problem I had was I figured most of the questions I found online, not that you guys were trying to like cheat or anything, that you could stumble on them. So what I did was I took a lot of questions like I would find and then sort of went to that episode and tried to find other shit. There's a few exceptions like Pepe and a few others, but I thought it'd be really easy to like accidentally just find out all the same questions I found online. So
The questions
No,
were
perfect. Yeah.
like they were
They're
good
good
questions.
questions.
They were just kind of like worded awkwardly. I feel like
Yeah.
like we didn't have like a clear answer for you sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, and the with the X is the reason I didn't end up giving the answers because it was tied to the tiebreaker. But you had Marla the Virgin, Terry Hatcher, Robin the Comedy Club waitress from George's, who with the fire with the kids, Kramer's ex Leslie the low talker, and Elaine's ex-boyfriend Fred the nipple exploder.
Was the wheelchair woman on the stand? The lady in the wheelchair?
I didn't read that, and I read this off of Wikipedia, so it
Oh.
could have been missing, but I didn't see that. All right, gang. Well,
Yeah, Ian, yeah. Definitely respect the chops.
boys,
Yeah.
well done, boys.
It's very close.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Definitely play again.
Yeah.
Good game. Good game.
All right, guys. Till next week. Thank you,
Till
Murph.
next time.
Till next time.
Yeah, I'll see you.
See you guys.
Play the
Yeah.
outro, Stein. Play the outro.
All right, 1 second. Hold on. I have it here somewhere.
It's unique every time, remember.
Yeah, I didn't know that. It's
Here.
actually there.
I don't know if that's right. That sounds insane.
Waiting for the outro.
Yeah, there you go.
Audio quality shit.
All right, see you, boys.
So guys, what do you think? Was I robbed? Was I a sore loser? Was the host coming up with all sorts of crazy questions with no possible answer? However you feel, let me know down in the comments. I'm going to be replying to every single one. And if you happen to nail every single one of those trivia questions, let me know. I'd love to set up a round 2. I think there's an opportunity for a rematch or a second version of this bout. And if you enjoyed this segment and made it all the way to the end, well, I guess you made it to the end because you're hearing me say this, then subscribe and hit the bell. We have new videos coming out all the time. Also, please like. It helps us out on the algorithm. And if you're still on quarantine and looking for a way to pass the time, check out this next video. It's some tips that I use to get through the day every day without crying or losing all composure or reacting the way I did at the beginning of this video. Thanks guys for watching. I will see you at the next video. Enjoy.